Welcome to our final camping trip for 2021. I will be doing a lot of voiceover for this video. I didn't do a lot of actual video. I did mostly still pictures because, as I've said before, I've been having some issues with my phone. I do my videos on my iPhone and I've been having issues with it communicating with my desktop and also with the storage getting full really quick. So if you take a lot of video, it takes a lot of storage space. Still pictures don't take as much space up. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this video. This is our campsite. We went to a close campsite this year. It's Tippecanoe River State Park. It's about a half an hour drive from our house, which was really nice. It's really nice when you're not an hour or two away from your home. But anyway, this was our campsite. It was a very nice campsite. The only issue was those two big trees you see right there. We had a bit of a challenge getting our awning to fit between those two trees, but we managed to do it, and it was a really nice campsite. We left on Friday after Scott and Travis got home from work, and as we were pulling out of the driveway, it started to rain. And it just proceeded to rain for most of the evening. It kind of stopped. It was just kind of drizzly sprinkling a little bit when we got there and got the camp set up. And then I had already decided that we were going to have a crock-pot meal for our first night even before I knew it was going to rain. So I had made a pot of white chicken chili, and so we had that for supper on Friday night. And then it did let up enough for us to take a little bit of a walk after supper.
Look at that. It's almost a camper.
Is that the one that you can kind of pull behind a motorcycle?
No, they're pulling that behind a Jeep.
Oh.
It's too big for a motorcycle. There's the economy model. See that old camper there? You can get you one of those and you pull it with a Jeep. Like that. Or you can get one like that one down there. That's just a little baby one too. It's got a little baby awning on it.
And they got their
It's a Coachman too.
skeleton thing.
Very big, man. Whoa.
I think you guys know me well enough by now to know how much I love vintage things, and so I took some pictures of some vintage campers that were in the campground. Two of these are actual vintage campers, and then the last one is a remake or whatever of a vintage camper. It's a newer one, but they made it to look old. But I took a picture of it anyway because I just think they're so cute. Soon after we got back from our walk, it started to rain again, and it just proceeded to rain all night long. It was actually kind of nice to hear it on the roof of the camper, but we decided to do cookies. What am I talking about? Pretzels. Those pretzels that I had bought at Aldi. We went ahead and cooked those in the oven, and we did a movie night, and it was a lot of fun. We watched... What did we watch? We watched Secondhand Lions. That is such a good movie. The next day we woke up and the rain had stopped and the sun was out and the skies were very blue, but it was pretty chilly. I don't know what the temperature was that day, but it was pretty chilly and it was kind of breezy. But we decided to do some hiking on the trails and we went over to the nature center. And it was a chance to try out the backpack that we had bought for Sally. We discovered it just does not work. It just doesn't work. She's too long. She's not comfortable in there. She's very anxious and she's very heavy. It really hurt Scott's back. And the nature center wasn't all that far from our campground, but just walking to the nature center with her in that backpack was not good. So on the way home from the nature center, we let her walk some of the way and then we would just carry her the rest of the way. So
We used to do that for fun. You guys are slowing down.
although the weather was absolutely beautiful and it was perfect fall weather, our trees were not turning. Last year, if you remember my fall camping trip video from last year, it was the same time, but the trees were much more colorful back then. Yeah, it was just not, hasn't changed at all this year yet. These are some of the things that we found in the nature center. They are animals that are native to this part of Indiana. For lunch on this day, I had a salad, and I just used some of the ham that I had brought and made a lovely salad out of it, and it was very tasty. The rain was gone for good, and so that night Scott built a fire and we had burgers over the fire for supper, and then we sat around the campfire for a while. It was very chilly and we had to bundle up. We didn't stay out too terribly late, but then we came in and watched some videos and went to bed. This is not a great picture because if you use the flash, it doesn't work really good and it's at night. But Oliver loves to sit in his own chair. So we have a camping chair and it's specifically for Oliver and he loves to sit in it. And we put a blanket in there and he snuggles in and he sits around the fire with us. The next morning, our second full day of camping, we woke up to even more beautiful weather, beautiful blue skies, no rain in sight, and the temperature had increased a bit. It was not quite so chilly. You still needed long sleeves, but the wind had died down. And so we went for another hike, a longer trail this time, and we went to the fire tower, which is one of the main attractions in this park. There was also a horseman's campground right attached to the regular campground, and so this was actually the horse trail, so that's why the path is so sandy and kind of hard to walk through. It was like walking on a beach, really. And this is what we kind of rigged up for Sally because she got so heavy just carrying her in your arms that this is kind of like a makeshift Bjorn. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but it's mainly for babies, for newborn babies. And it worked out really well. I mean, it was still, she was still heavy, but it definitely made it easier to carry her. So we're going to actually look into getting a baby Bjorn for that's made for humans, but Sally's about the size of a newborn baby, but she just weighs a lot more. But anyhow, this worked out a whole lot better, and we all took turns carrying her like this. I didn't carry her for very long because it really gets you in the back, and I didn't want to screw my back up. So anyway, this was what we worked out for carrying our little baby. Here we are at the fire tower, and it is tall. I don't know how tall it is, but it is tall. And lots of steps, and so you can't take dogs up there. And my knees are genetically bad, and they'd been kind of giving me fits this weekend. Every so often I would step, and they'd kind of act like my knee wanted to pop out of joint. It's just the way my knees are. I got sloppy ligaments. But anyway, I didn't think it was a good idea to climb all the way up there, so I stayed down with the dogs. So since I couldn't climb up the fire tower, I had Scott and Olivia take some pictures from up top. After we got back from the fire tower, it was time for lunch, and I again had a salad. It was pretty much the same kind of salad as I had the day before, only I used some turkey burger left over from our campfire the night before as the protein. After lunch, it was such a beautiful day that we decided to go for another hike on one of the other trails in the campground. And I especially love this picture because it's kind of a recreation of a picture that I took years ago of Pepper, Sally, and Lucy when we were taking them on a hike. I think it might have been actually at this same park. So yeah, it was really cool. I'll insert that picture now.
Oh, that's really interesting. I think this is the one we want to be on. You could go going this here, otherwise you just got in the middle of the lake. It's only 40-90.
This was actually a dead tree, and that's why this mushroom was growing up out of the side of the tree. And it was really tall. It was like, I don't know, 12 feet up the trunk of this tree. I just found it kind of interesting. After this walk, we decided to kind of start a fire early. We had lots of firewood to burn, and it was such a beautiful day. It was the perfect day. And so we had a great time sitting outside, um, enjoying the antics of Ollie as Scott was getting a fire going.
These paper bags aren't the most ideal thing to do. Need to get a couple more of those. But they're free. Well, they're not free, are they?
No, they charge us like 5 cents a piece or something for them.
They're what we have, and they work. Piece. What's the matter, dog? Can't get it? Is that your stick? Is that your stick? Oh, it's yours? I thought that was my firewood. That's your toy? You didn't think it was your toy?
What is it, Lottie?
Oh, it is? You silly boy. You're a nut. You're a nut. Give me that stick, he said. I want it now. Oh, you want that one now? This one doesn't. This thing isn't much. Isn't that much good for anything? Here, take it. That's that real light one. I hope he doesn't.
Get a splinter in his mouth.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't try to eat it. It's soft enough, I think he can tear it apart.
He is ripping it.
That's his new favorite stick now.
What do you got, Ollie?
I can throw this one. It's nice and light. I may have another piece of that bin there. I split a bunch of it because it was just out there rotten. I thought, well, it's dry. I'll split it and see if I can burn it.
And we broke all the rules this day. We had dessert first. We decided to make s'mores first because it's just so much easier to make s'mores when it's not pitch black outside. And yes, I ate a s'more. In fact, I totally didn't do hardly anything Trim Healthy Mama this entire weekend. I just decided, you know what, it's our last camping trip of the year and I am just going to enjoy myself. And yeah, I ate everything I wanted to eat. Candy, chips, s'mores, you name it, I ate it. And I tell you, by the time we went home on Monday, I felt like a bloated tick. And now I am back on Trim Healthy Mama 100%. That was just going to be a one weekend deal, not the rest of my life. And yes, we had brats on the fire, cooked over the fire with green peppers and onions. Olivia and I had chicken brats, and Travis and Scott had pork brats. And I had chips on the side. Because it's a couple weeks until Halloween, several of the campsites had been decorated up for Halloween. I think they're going to have some kind of a special event when it gets closer to Halloween. But there were the 3 or 4 campsites in a row that all must have been family or somehow friends or something, and they all went together and they totally decked out their campsites for Halloween. Now, I'm not ordinarily a lover of Halloween. We don't typically celebrate it, but they just did such a good job and it was so cool that I had to video it. And it was dark, so it's really kind of hard to see a lot of things, but I went back the next day before we left and took some daylight pictures, and I will tack those on here as well. And Oliver did not like it. He was scared. He was scared of the animation.
Oh my goodness, they're moving. What do you think, Oliver?
So we got Alaskan hares, right? Because of mine.
After we went over and checked out those Halloween decorations, we came back and sat around our campfire for quite a long time. It was such a beautiful night, and we just so enjoyed the evening. And this is how we ended our final camping trip for 2021. We just kind of slept in the next morning, got around kind of easy after we went over and took those pictures of the spooky decorations. We just didn't take long at all to get wrapped up, and we were home before noon. It's really nice to live not too far from this really nice campground. I hope you enjoyed this video of our camping adventures. We absolutely love going out. We had such a wonderful time. It was so relaxing, and none of us wanted to come home. We were all just really sad to leave. And on Tuesday, I was down working on laundry when Scott got home from work, and he's like, "I'm ready to go back camping again." And I feel the same way. So hopefully next year we will get to do a lot more camping. We just have to plan ahead and get sites reserved because they fill up really fast. Thanks so much for watching, friends. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. We'll talk to you later, friends. Bye-bye.